Welcome to the South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Salkowski, Dustin Hassan, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Michael Germanuelian. Good evening, South Texas Amateur Golf Tour. My name is MD, Mike Germanuelian, DM, aka Don't Miss. I've been known by many things, but glad to be back. I was off last week, took a little bit of a break, spending a lot of time just recuperating from carrying the tour and this podcast on my back, but appreciate the guys stepping up and helping. Really, really fun show. Happy Tuesday, 7:02. It is Tuesday, March 19th. We have some things to discuss. We're going to talk a little bit about the recap for the Hill Country Division. First event, Kissing Tree this weekend. Really, really exciting. Aggressive weather, but nonetheless, we played through it and we put together a really fun event. And of course, looking forward to Brack this weekend, two-person 666. Myself and Casey Graham looking to just make it rain birdies and see what I can do to help him get back to number one in the point standings. Because that's really all I'm here for. All of that being said, nothing happens, nothing gets started in this whole thing without my buddy, without the man who we call the tour director, who we call T-Sal, T-Swizzle, Travis, as Sabrina calls him, pain in the ass, or boss, but please don't tell her I said that. Welcome to the show, Travis Salkowski.
What's up, MD? Good evening, tour viewers. MD's right. We launched the Greater Hill Country Division last weekend, and MD's wrong. Sabrina never calls me boss, but that would be amazing.
But this is the first time you and I have been on camera together in 4 weeks.
I know, right? I'm so excited. I got to do the show last week alongside Jason Bird, and let's be honest, you never know what you're gonna get with Jason.
I had no intention of even watching the show. I'm taking the night off. And then I'm like, well, it is Jason and Travis. I'm going to have to sit in the comments.
Right. Like you sit back and you're like, man, I'm going to have to comment to move this train wreck along. And it was pretty good. I thought it was okay.
I thought you guys did great. I thought you did great. You cannot replicate or duplicate what I do, but you guys made it your own.
It's very difficult. And, I joke and say live TV, right? It's still live podcast, live television. It's not really easy. It's difficult. It's stressful. And you make it seem so easy. And what everybody watching doesn't see is that there's a ton of moving parts on MD's screen right now. There's comments, there's upcomings, there's music, there's mic levels. There's in and outs of guests. At the same time, MD's texting everybody, prepping them what's coming up, blah, blah, blah. So MD's not only live, not skipping a beat, but he's also producing the show, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is where this whole kit and caboodle started a couple years ago, that you were just going to produce the show.
I was just supposed to produce it. And then I forcefully invited myself to take over.
Well, it's an honor to be alongside you on
Yes,
March
it is.
19th, 7 o'clock, MD and I on together. This is the first time we're going to talk about recapping a Greater Hill Country Division event. I think this is so cool. It was the first time the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour hosted an event not in Bexar County, not on the Alamo City Golf Trail. And MD's right. If it wouldn't have been for 2 cracks of lightning, it would have been a pretty flawless day. We did have 2 lightning delays, and one of those lightning delays was a pretty heavy downpour as well. But it just goes to show that there's never a dull moment, and every situation on the golf course is an opportunity to become a better player. And that was really on full display at Kissing Tree this past weekend, whether it was a different tournament setup, not have played the golf course as many times,
if at all.
Different scoring area, a different practice area, a new course to learn. Shout out to Straka. I saw a ton of Straka books at Kissing Tree this week. I think that was really cool to see.
Straka confirms was in full force.
A different golf course for the tour setup community to set up at. Sabrina and myself to run the day of and to score and to marshal. And I feel like I did everything this past weekend except watch any golf. I didn't see almost any shots. There was a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, lots of weather in the area. And but other than that, super successful day, super benchmark day for the tour. MD, you played in that event. Speak to us a little bit from the tour golfer competitor side. What was it like driving to a different place?
You know, I played there on Thursday with Scotty Williams and Micah Carroll, and I was painting the course that day, or painting the greens that day, marking for the weekend.
Yep.
So got to see the golf course. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was really cool. Just hadn't seen it before, and it was very interesting to me how aggressively different that golf course was, with a shift of wind and a little bit of, you know, the wind was
short, very short golf course, very wide, very fair.
Very fair, and they make up for it with some really challenging greens, some different, really cool really cool green complexes, some strategic bunkers. I didn't hear anyone say anything about the pins. I first of all, shout out to Kissing Tree's team for taking care of that for us. Not only did they
whole locations at Kissing Tree were awesome.
They were. I mean that it's one of those golf courses that recognizes, hey, we're short. We have to have some difficult greens.
Kind of bracky on the greens.
I said it was Brack greens mixed with a Mission Del Lago kind of up and down with a shortness of like Riverside.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
And I mean, so it was really cool. Getting there on Sunday morning. It's a little bit different vibe. Like you're used to everyone kind of coming together in the general same places during the course of the event. Thank you, Greg Graff. Number 9. So the day I played number 9. So for those of you who haven't seen Kissing Tree, the hole number 9 is it's a drivable par 4. It's 320 yards.
320 downhill.
Yep.
To a green that borders a lake.
And it really is the back portion and the entire right side of that green are water. And the day that I played it, it was like a 5x5. It was 5 off the back, 5 off the right side. It was really tough. So we played Sunday with it about maybe 5 or 6 paces off the back on the left side this time. but still very tricky shot, very difficult spot to be in. But I think I kind of underestimated. I mean, I drove I was just short of the green. Micah drove the green and was almost pin high. I mean, you know, it was a tricky thing, and to Brad Gilbert's point, water comes into play on the left a bit too there, depending on where you're coming with. And Jeff Horn, yes, drivable with the smoke. And fun fact, Micah Carroll made the switch to the smoke on Thursday afternoon prior to our practice round. So everyone I saw drive the green. Scotty Williams, same thing. Scotty Williams hit a just bomb drive. He happens to carry a smoke, so most of it is smoke. But back to what I was saying. Number 9 played super difficult, depending on the angle that you came in. I mean, it's hard to ignore the water in general, but anything coming back at the pin from the left side going back to the green was kind of scary, unless you were just throwing a quick, a short little wedge in. So really, really fun. But it was weird. It was different. We're used to kind of all congregating in the same places. We all kind of know the area really well, so we can kind of go about our thing. So it was a little bit different, but you gotta love Kissing Tree. Kissing Tree has an amazing chipping and putting area.
Yes,
it's one of those places. Like if I lived near Kissing Tree, I'd be out there practicing out there every day because it's just
what a cool facility. Right, 5 minutes off the highway. 5 minutes off. Highway. Not even.
It's and I mean I was thinking about it today too because I was down in New Braunfels and I was driving back. I'm like I could just bring my clubs and just go practice at Kissing Tree.
Yes, absolutely.
Like
but their professional staff was awesome. They're absolutely that's kind of the feel I got too, Gregory. Gregory Brack.
Their chipping and putting area was superior for sure, though. I would say.
Really liked it. Yep. I love, for those of you that know me, I love to practice and I love short game practicing. And that's really important to me. And that looked really, really well done in that quadrant there. Big practice putting green. Really good. No, Jeff Wern, Kissing Tree allows open play, public play on the weekends. Mainly Friday, Saturday, Sunday, open to the public. Listen, they're proud of their green fee, so don't be shocked. There's maybe some sticker shock there. They're proud of the place, and
I think it's well deserving or something like that. Yeah.
I think it's $1.50.
But it's what out of the courses that we have played around the area that would boast that kind of price point, it's by far the most worthy of that figure. It green and gorgeous. Scotty Williams, correct, after 2:00, $80. We went out there and played for $80 a piece, well worth the dollar value.
They gave Kissing Tree extended a practice round discount to the tour golfers. I thought that was cool. Yeah. But yes, really good facility. Really centrally located, really happy to have them as a Greater Hill Country Division partner and host facility. And
we've already got the offer to come back.
Yep, we will be back there next.
I will say one of the things I really like too was I like the restaurant that they have there. First thing in the morning, I got there at 6:45, 7:00 ish, and got some practice in, and we had about 30-40 minutes before our tee time. Me and Scotty Williams went and had breakfast with Chris Hughes and Steve Robert up at the little tavern up there, and had a great breakfast taco and just kind of bullshitted for a little bit, and then went back down and had a nice little chipping session before we got out there. It was great.
Kissing Tree's facility does a really, really cool job of everything being really spaced out.
Yep.
Like the first tee's over here, the 10th tee's over there, the short game area is here, the putting green's over here, the driving range is over there, the clubhouse is up top. But you know what? It all felt close. Everything had its own space and it was very comfortable, but it all felt like it was right there. Never too far away to get to quickly. not overly busy. I made a comment at the starters tent to one of the golf professionals there. I love 12-minute intervals.
Yeah.
I love 12-minute intervals. Now, don't get me wrong. At a $1.50 a pip, you can do 12-minute intervals, right?
Absolutely.
And at 12-minute intervals, you can hold people accountable for pace of play a little better, right?
Yep.
And it's a little bit more realistic to expect a 4.5-hour round, open play, public play wise, on 12-minute intervals, because you eliminate, 30% of your opportunity for backups.
I mean, granted, we were cart path only, and obviously we got. I mean, I know that there were moments where we were getting so inundated with rain, it was tough to even just get in a position to go hit the ball. Do we have a Bob North? I'm sure you are. You played that course pretty goddamn well, so yeah, you should.
Yeah, you did.
But do we have a rough estimate or official time for what the average round was?
The first group finished in 4:55 with a
Beautiful.
15-minute lightning delay. And then the last group finished in just over 5.5 with 2 lightning/rain delays.
Perfectly acceptable. And cart path only and heavy rain. And wide fairways, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not easy. I mean, I had a couple of times where I was, having to bring the bag with me just to verify what I'm doing.
Right, exactly. And those fairways are huge. Some of them 50, 60, 70, 80 yards wide.
Yeah,
cart path only is tough.
Yeah,
that's a legitimate question. Cart path only. How much time? I'm sorry. I just brought dinner in. I went from work to tour to podcast, and I've been clicking off. I don't want to eat on camera. Legitimate question. Cart path only. How much time? How many minutes does that add per side? 15 minutes per side? I mean, what's the actual number?
I think it's one of those things where, I know that we've played cart path only before, when we're playing for fun. And keep in mind, playing for fun in me and Travis's world is still playing competitive golf and still taking it serious.
Almost
it's
more
just
so by the rules, right?
Almost more so. Yeah. So you and I and our group typically can play pretty quick, even on cart path. I think the big challenge here, I think the biggest differentiator here is the weather piece of it.
Right.
I think when it's super windy and it's rainy and muddy and you're just trudging through it, I think you're kind of. I think that's driving more.
Taking time to find casual water relief and things like that.
Yeah, I think that ends up eating more of your time out there than anything else. I think cart path only in a lot of ways. Obviously a lot of courses do it no matter what the conditions are, strictly because they want to keep pace and they want to maintain the grass and maintain the course condition. But we also know that it typically, on a normal day, it doesn't really add too much. I think the weather played more factor in it than anything else. And obviously
so the combo
thunder and lightning and the combo of both really caused some problems. But again, it was, I hate playing in the rain. I like playing in the rain. I hate playing in the rain, but it was also really interesting because I was staring a lot at their drainage and paying attention to how they designed that course to drain, which I thought it did a really good job.
The architecture and the aesthetics of the community, the architecture of the building, the amenities there, really cool facility, not that far away. If you haven't been to Kissing Tree, totally 10 out of 10 would recommend. Yep. It will be on the Greater Hill Country Division in 2025 for sure.
Yep.
Awesome facility, cool format.
I'd love to see a stroke play event there, to be honest. I'd love to see what scores could be.
I agree. I'd love to see that. Greater Hill Country Division has its own point standings. They are updated on the same point standings tab that y'all are familiar with. There's just 2 of them now, one for the Trail Division and one for the Greater Hill Country Division. Speaking of those point standings, you want to talk about the winners?
Let's talk about the winners. We don't need to talk about the losers, but we can talk about the winners.
I love winners, but you can't have winners without losers.
Yeah, I know. I was one of them. So let's talk about some of those winners. Let's talk about Champ Flight. Let's start out with Champ Flight. On the net side of Champ Flight, winning Champ Flight net, that is, I apologize, that is Ambassador Micah Carroll.
Woo!
And his partner Dom Rodriguez.
Yes,
shooting
that was a scorecard playoff over Bird and Freeman. So the victory is even
Bird
just
and Freeman
a little bit better.
Yeah.
There were fun fact. Dom is also an employee of Jason Bird's, just like Michael Freeman. And
fantastic.
It's a lot of it.
How
really
about them victory cookies right there too. But
Bird makes comments that he hires people to add to a charity squad, and they were there. Let's take a quick look at these cookies.
Wow.
So there's a whole story behind these. So Kissing Tree, you'll notice there are little lips on them, and they're trees. They're kissing trees.
Oh, that's the story. That's it right there.
Yes, not a terribly long story, but nonetheless, they do provide some sort of,
I love them. Laura Lewis, the Cake Place and More, providing our victory cookies, proud partners with the STX Am Tour. And I love these. These are my favorite so far this year.
Yeah, these are really good.
Really cool way to kick off the Greater Hill Country Division. Congratulations to Micah Carroll. It was he had a birthday recently too, right?
His birthday was on Thursday. He turned 47.
Woo! So a birthday and a victory cookie.
I don't know if he turned 47 or not, but
I think he turned like I think it's close, right?
Actually, it might have been 47.
I mean, he's close to the senior tees.
He's getting close to senior tees. He's got the body of a senior, but he's not there in age. So that being said, 3 years until Champions Tour. So yes, it's 47. I knew we talked about it. When I played him on Thursday, I took $100 from him on his birthday, and I didn't even feel bad about it. Switching to our Champ Flight gross winner.
This is so appropriate.
This is so appropriate. Stupid. Like, these guys are on a fucking tear, shooting a net and gross 63. I don't need to say their names.
Dustin Weldon and Sean Vidal. So cool that they were the first tee time off too, right? So they were the first tee time off. They hit the first shots on the Greater Hill Country Division. They won the first gross victory cookie. They won the first ever gross Greater Hill Country Division, and it's just Sean Vidal adding to his GOAT of the tour resume. Really. I mean,
it's
player of the year. Greater Hill Country Division is got to be the last bubble, seeing as it's brand new and never been done before. A perfect thing for Sean Vidal to get. So happy for Sean Vidal and Dustin Weldon. Really cool.
About there in height compared to them.
Yeah,
just hit
MD about the height of the victory cookie.
I would need a ladder to climb that kissing tree.
Congratulations, Championship Flight victory cookie winners. Really cool day. Endured some weather and a new golf course. And congratulations to you guys.
Congratulations. Now, talking from first flight. Now, there were only 2 flights.
Only 2 flights. A little smaller field.
Smaller field.
The trail divisions used to seeing.
But again, I have a feeling that over the course of the initial season and then into next season, this is only going to continue to grow because, again, really, really fun courses, different kind of competition,
New formats.
and new formats, and at the same time, like, hey, I don't want to say it's easy to go win on the trail when you play the trail all the time, but there is something to be said about, hey, maybe I need to go test myself a little bit at some of these other golf courses and see if I'm still like
and
gonna win.
Let's break down some math here real quick. The South Texas Match Play Challenge team has expanded to 20 players this year, from 16 to 20. 2 of those spots are going to come from the playoffs of this new Greater Hill Country division. And that playoff event is top 72. So really it's 2 for 72 at the end. But that's going to be a big tournament. That's going to be a big price tag tournament and may not have a full field. So I think there's some good statistical chances to come out of the playoffs in the Greater Hill Country division and make the team as we know it from the Alamo City Golf Trail division.
Yeah, I mean,
and join all of those people, and then all of a sudden, the Greater Hill Country division playoffs are before the big trail playoffs, which are 4 rounds instead of 1 weekend, right?
Yep.
And could you imagine making the team in the Greater Hill Country division, the pomp and circumstance that's going to come from that, right? And then play for the big paycheck in the trail division tour playoffs, free and clear.
And I think there's also something to be said about, you know, when we talk about the trail or the tour playoffs, you know, one of the biggest names that you always have to put into consideration is a Sean Vidal or a Dustin Weldon, or, you know, you put in, there's a bunch of people on that list that you usually see in the top 20 exactly. So like those people, like, I mean, obviously, like, I want to make the team. Like, I would love to make the team through the Greater Hill Country, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? If Sean and Dustin want to just go take it and make it through there and open up 2 spots on the tour, like, I don't care. It's fine.
It sounds good.
So there's it adds another kind of twist into, I mean, Casey's going to have a field day doing the math to figure out who's going to make the team, what the numbers are going to be, like what percentage chances people have. Like, it's going to be fun.
I think it's great. I think if you really start breaking down how to make the team, right, the best way to make the team is to qualify for the playoffs, go to the 4 rounds on the Alamo City Golf Trail division.
That takes 9 spots. If you count the wild card and the horse race as coming from the playoffs, right? That's 9 spots. That's 9 for 100. That's 9%. Right? 3 people make it in the spring season and the summer season on the trail division. So 3 for 500. That's less than 0.5%. Right? And 2 for 50 on the Greater Hill Country division, 2 for 72 tops. You know,
but more likely 2 for 50.
Yeah, more likely.
It's called space spade here.
Right. And now we're talking 4%, 5% chance. So
I mean,
yes, I think the odds are in the favor that way. I think the toughest way to make the team is in the regular seasons.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's always. I mean, unless you know, there always seems to be 1 or 2 people every season who they're playing good golf. Their handicap is in the right spot, and they're able to kind of glide.
They're crescendoing at the right time.
Yes. So it really is very hard to make the team during the seasons themselves. The playoffs are always a time to go, you know, kind of earn your keep there. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it all plays out.
On the flip side of that, the best place to make the team is in the spring season top 3, right?
And then you done, poof.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I told you, like, if I you know, get my shit together here once we start stop playing all these goddamn team events and people have to fucking earn it on their own in fucking stroke play.
We see the parental advisory at the beginning of the show,
I don't-
folks. Woo!
Once people have to start playing and carrying their own weight,
Speaking
we'll
of,
see.
Speaking of carrying their own weight, shout out to those winners from Kissing Tree. What a cool first.
Well, how about we actually do the first flight winners, because we didn't do that.
Oh, yeah. No, let's. I want to see their pictures.
You took it off somewhere. Yeah. So.
I did.
Winning.
Perfect.
Yeah. First net winners, shooting a net 66.
We are back to Kissing Tree, everybody.
We are back to Kissing Tree. Champ flight. First flight winners, net 66. Michael St. Clair and Trevor Johnson. They played on Thursday afternoon in the group behind us, getting their practice in. Obviously, that practice paid off. Excuse me. Congrats to them. Really, really good playing. And wrapping up on
they had an eagle. They had an eagle. I'm sorry, a birdie net eagle on 16, and that was the deciding factor for them on their one-shot victory.
That's pretty impressive. And then jumping into first gross with a gross 74, Bob North and OJ Hernandez.
Woo, watching the show right now, Bob North is. Look at those victory cookies.
I do want to say they're talking about Eagles. Well, actually, first of all, congrats to Bob North and OJ. Congrats, great playing, guys. I mean, they're gonna hang that picture up of Bob when he retires there.
I think that's great, Bob North. I hope you retire at Kissing Tree. It's done you good so far. They had a 2 on the scorecard and alt shot. That certainly helps. This was a one-shot victory on the gross side as well. It turned out to be a 3-shot victory after St. Clair and Johnson moved over to the net side.
I mean, it was really, really impressive. I mean, great playing in general. I mean, the course, again, I don't think that course was easy by any stretch of the imagination. I think it proved actually to be pretty difficult in a lot of regards. I do want to give a shout out to Mario Martinez, though, in first flight, or in champ flight, excuse me. So Mario was playing with Willie Nichols. Willie Nichols' son got hurt, so Willie had to go. Mark Kacheski, who ambassador to the Stars, was there helping out and working. Grabbed his clubs, joined in, and partnered with Mario. And they caught up to us on the 5th hole. And the 5th hole is a pretty straightforward par 5. It's a slight, if you want to call it a dog leg right. Just dead straight fairway, and the green's just off to the right side, blocked by a couple of trees. Very easy to get there in 2. It's only playing 550 yards or something like that, but it's downhill and you can cut across some stuff. So Mario holes out for chips in for eagle in front of us on 5 there. And I'm just like, Mark, you are friggin' irrelevant for this team.
I love it. It was perfect.
Like, really, really good eagle, natural eagle. So congrats to Mario for that. I thought that was pretty cool.
I did want to pull in a comment from Joe Workman. Joe Workman's played Kissing Tree a bunch. This is in congratulatory remark to Sean and Dustin. New course, same story. Congratulations, Sean and Dustin.
And Jonathan Aiken, great course, great time. Can't wait to go back to Kissing Tree. Thank you, Aiken, for coming out and playing. Glad you had fun. Really, really cool course. Really, really excited and excited to kick off this new tour. Excited to have Kissing Tree host it as the first initial event. And now our first event is in the books. We've got that done, and
it's just chugging forward, just like the other division.
And speaking of the other division, we are coming to an end on our busy run of golf.
Our March grind.
Our March grind, as it would be. We are heading to Brack this weekend. Brack 2-person 666.
Two-person best
Full
ball.
field.
Two-person best ball.
Two-person best ball. I apologize. We've been playing 666 a lot.
We played a couple 666s this month. We are on to best ball, playing your own
You're
ball.
on to best ball. Love it.
Yes, playing your own ball.
Woo.
On to Brack, two-person best ball. Brack is supposed to be in pretty okay condition. That is one of those courses we all know that course. We all know it very well. I think it's just going to be nice to get kind of back to Brack.
We haven't been there since the Tour Championship week, which was before we traveled to Houston for the South Texas Match Play Challenge last year. So it's been 5 months. Really?
It's been a while, and we're looking at overcast, but 77. No rain in the forecast, which is nice. I told Travis today I'm friggin' tired of that.
136 golfers, lots of tee times. Really excited to be back at Brack. I love scoring on the patio in the springtime before it gets super hot. I love scoring outside, but I hate scoring outside at Brack in August.
Yes,
brutal.
That gets brutal. But Brack is going to be Brack. We're going to have a lot of fun. Brack is one of those courses we all enjoy playing. I think it's a good place. I think it's going to be a fun place to go play in comparison to Kissing Tree, just from a sense of you think about how gettable Kissing Tree can be. Brack, I think, manages to be a little bit more defensive in some ways. In just a little bit longer, where it makes some of those holes a little harder to drive. But it's going to be really fun to get out there and kind of, be able to compare it and see that. And obviously best ball, playing your own ball this week.
Yeah, it's having, week to week. 4 weeks in a row. In 12, 13 years of the tour, we've never done 4 weeks in a row. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a grind. Thank you to everybody playing. Thank you to everybody's spouses playing, and families. We get it. 2 weeks off though, coming up soon.
2 weeks off coming up soon. We are going to have our show as scheduled next week. We are going to be doing next week is going to be a really, really fun show.
MD, why is next week going to be a fun show?
So we are going to do our Brack recap, but after that, we are going to be joined by two of the most special guests that we've had on the show.
Two guests at the same time. MD, who are those guests going to be, and what are we going to be talking about?
One of the guests is actually my ex-girlfriend, now my current wife, Cindy. And the other will be Sabrina Sokowski. We're going to have the wives of some of the crazy people who run the tour join and talk to us.
We thought it'd be really cool to get some family perspective. Sabrina is so involved in tour operations. Really cool to get her on the podcast, and we'll market a little bit. There'll be some Facebook stuff coming up for it, so we can ask some questions on Facebook, and it's going to be a really cool bit and really cool segment. And
I think it'll be interesting to have Sabrina, who obviously has been not only involved with golf, but with the tour and you and all that stuff. And then you have almost a polar opposite in that sense of Cindy, who I feel like if I lived in San Antonio, she'd be at every event and she'd be super, super involved. But at the same time, she doesn't play golf. She doesn't really care about golf other than the fact that I care. Full Swing is she loves Full Swing on Netflix.
Right.
That's her intro to golf. Aside from me, she caddied for me once in 2015 maybe at Willow, and she said she'd never caddy for me again.
I think it's gonna be a really cool show, and everybody watching now, share that with your significant other or spouse, and they can chime in. I have a feeling it's going to be one of the most watched shows we've ever done.
and I have a feeling it's going to be some. I don't want to say eye-opening stuff, but I think it's going to be really neat to see some stuff from that perspective, and to hear what they have to say a little bit about it as well. I think it's going to be pretty neat.
I think it'll be a good opportunity for everyone to, any of the spouses out there who might be watching, to kind of
ask questions,
but also at the same time, like to your point, like people don't understand all the shit that we do during the week. And like all the, like not only to run it, but then to practice and prep and tour travels and all this other stuff. Like,
right. And we could take that and extend that into the business of golf. Like,
yeah,
we were talking about MD running and producing a podcast before, but MD also is the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour's partner liaison. So he's the one talking to Straka and reaching out to other building brands and things like that. So there's constant behind the scenes stuff going on there. And then we can take it even more into the business of golf. We've both been in the business of golf for a long time. I've been a PGA professional for damn near 20 years now. And for those spouses or anybody that wants to ask those questions, you know, the wife of a golf professional's a really shitty role to play sometimes. And I think it's going to be a really cool segment, and I'm really excited to have them on the show and to see what they have to say.
I was more in shock that we got them to agree to it more than anything.
Sabrina still technically hasn't agreed. But
I think once she knows Cindy's on, she'll be fine.
I think it's going to be a great show. Sabrina is not shy once she gets on, and I think it's going to be great content. And I think the questions are going to be maybe a little.
I mean, you guys know me.
Yeah.
You guys know me and know how I am. Now imagine it bottled up and stuck with her all the time. Like,
I think it's really cool for everyone just tuning in. Next week on the podcast, Cindy Dermanuelian and Sabrina Salkowski will be joining us live.
We're going to call her CD, MD and Cindy.
On the podcast next week to talk about the lives of a golf wife, I guess we shall say. I think it's going to be a really cool show. And we get to recap Brackenridge Park.
Which is going to be great.
It is 6 hours of tee times this Sunday. First notice players is out. Tee times and flights are on. Second notice to players coming to register golfers no later than Friday. Big newsletter coming this week. About to be, when that newsletter comes, there will be five events open for registration.
The rest of the spring will be open for registration.
Yeah, 3 on the trail division and 2 on the Greater Hill Country division. I'm not going to get all the way through. There'll be 1 to go yet still in the spring season of the trail division. But we've got Northern Hills Stroke Play open. We've got now currently open for registration April the 28th, 2-person best ball at Olmos Basin. And we've got the featured event of the spring season, double points, Sunday, May 12th, the return to Riverside. Open for registration.
Ooh, doggy.
That is open for registration. Sign upable online right now. The return to Riverside, a walking only event as of right now. The trail's still working on stuff there, like a cart barn, for example, and power to that cart barn. So shout out to the Alamo City Golf Trail, and the walking only course conditions at Riverside are great right now. I love seeing those fairways. I know Stephen Evans is going to agree with me right now, but if he had it his way, I love walking, and if he had it his way, everywhere would be walking. It would be great. But
walking's great.
May 12th, open for registration. That will be new course record day at Riverside. The first official golf tournament to play at Riverside since the renovation. And we will be setting the course record from every set of tee boxes that day, including the official from the new, it's going to be the Black Tour tees, but it will be the Riverside back tee box rating and slope. So new course record at Riverside, open for registration May 12th.
Both low score and high score.
Yes, you betcha. And on the Greater Hill Country Division, one event currently open for registration now, a new format, April 20th, 36 holes, one day, 4 sets of 9 holes, shamble, best ball, scramble, alt shot, 36 holes, one day, lunch included, all the range balls you can hit all day long, maybe the best value ever in a tour event, open for registration now. Going to be a really cool day at
Frankenstein golf, baby.
Yeah, going to be really cool. And then opening tomorrow will be the May 5th Olympia Hills stroke play event on the Greater Hill Country Division. So the first stroke play event on the GHCD coming tomorrow. So 5 events open for registration. We know for sure 3 of them are going to sell out, and they're going to sell out fast. That Riverside event is going to be a smaller field pending right now, so don't delay on that one. We wanted to tell everybody as soon as you can, in case you need to make I gotta walk decisions. Pull cart, caddy.
I am working on getting us. I'm reaching out to different cart companies to see if they'll do anything for us.
Pull cart, push cart. That is, everybody, not like gas powered cart, but push cart. So yeah, lots of events open for registration. They're gonna sell out. I expect the Greater Hill Country divisions to be about that 50 to 70 range. So again, smaller fields, bigger prizes, easier way to a playoff, maybe an easier way onto the team. We'll find out. MD, what you got?
That is all we got, Trav. That pretty much covers everything. I know we wanted to kind of keep it short and sweet. We're still at 50 minutes, but I think that's all we really got going into Brack this weekend. Is going to be a lot of fun. Next week, recap, have the wives on and talk about being a wife in the golf world. And we are going to, I think, take a well-deserved week off the following week and not do a show after this marathon.
Marathon
that has been March.
Marathon March has been crazy. Jeffrey Wern taking bids for Riverside Caddy Services. Put that on the Facebook page. We've seen several people.
You just tell me what you want, and it's yours.
We've seen several people get caddy service by posting on the Facebook page, right? I mean, Brad Gilbert, Andre Ramirez.
Jeff, just tell me what your number is, and it's fine. It's yours. I don't care.
MD's right. We've got a sold-out Brackenridge Park coming up this Sunday, the 24th. Second notice to players coming out no later than Friday night, the 22nd. That's 136 plus golfers, 6 hours of tee times. The return to historic Brackenridge Park golf course this weekend, double points. Then we've got a special edition of the podcast on the 26th. MD's wife and my wife join us for a Spouses of Golfers segment live on the Power Hour podcast. Can't wait for that. And then we have an off weekend followed by an off week on the podcast. That is no show on April 2nd. It is not an April Fool's Day. Marathon March is 75% done, and we're on to a sold-out Brackenridge Park. I was telling MD that a little earlier today that the stress from March is going to end at 2:05 on Sunday when the last tee time is in the fairway on number 1, and it can be like, whoosh, we made it.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, What a crazy month it's been. And you think just, again, the weather from January kind of carried us into February, and then we got stuff backing up, and we got new tour division. It's been busy, but it's been fun as all get out, and it's been exciting, and it's been challenging, and we are definitely ready for a little bit of a break. I feel like we're just going to play golf on those breaks anyways, but it's neither here nor there. You definitely need to go play and get a little bit of your reps in, because in the coming weeks we will be doing a tour travel show, and I need you at
roughly 440 tournament rounds in the month of March. It's going to be Manos. But yes, I haven't had a minute to play golf. I've been trying to practice 15 minutes in the backyard tonight, and I'm looking forward to an off week where I can finally get on some green grass and practice and play.
Yep, absolutely. Well, guys, before we go real quick, of course, want to first of all give a shout out to all of our tour partners this season. First of all, big shout out to the boys at San Pedro Club Repair Studio. Shout out to Ben and Alex. Go see them for all of your equipment needs. They've got the newest equipment in the shop. They have got used equipment in the shop, and they can also repair and fix any club that you bring to them, as well as get you the extra parts, all that good stuff. Laura Lewis, Cake Place and More. Of course, shout out to her for the amazing cookies that she makes.
So much more. Cupcakes, cakes, big ass cakes, wedding cakes. I mean, artistry, bake work. Laura Lewis, Cake Place and More.
I'll post some pictures. She's doing some cookies for my sister-in-law's bachelorette party. So I will show those cookies when she gets those done. So big shout out to Laura Lewis. Global Fairway Logistics, our boy Danny Puckett. Shout out for everything he does, and documenting the tour and documenting all the stuff that we're doing, and just being a great not only partner but great golfer in person. And then of course, shout out to Micah Carroll and Cairo Services Group. All your land improvement service needs, give Micah a call. He will get you taken care of. And of course, nothing is possible without our presenting sponsor for 2024, Shelby AC and Refrigeration, David Falconer. Give David a call. We're getting into the summer months. It is the first official day of spring. Spring has, in fact, sprung, and it's slowly but surely going to heat up. Get ahead of it now. Give Shelby AC and Refrigeration a call. They will get you taken care of and get you ready to go into those summer months and keep you cool. That phone number below, don't be afraid of the area code. It is a Rockport area code, but David Falconer will be servicing and supporting all of our San Antonio Tour players, and even willing to make his way up to Austin should it be needed. But give them a call for all things AC and refrigeration. But guys, that's all we got for you tonight.
Everybody visit www.stxamtour.golf. Sign up for those events now. The trail division for sure is going to sell out. Sign up for the Greater Hill Country division. March your way towards TPC San Antonio and the STX Am Tour playoffs, and then earn your way on to the 2024 South Texas Match Play Challenge team, expanded to 20 golfers this year at the newly renovated Riverside.
So cool. Guys, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. Excited to see everybody back in action this weekend at Brack. Everyone have a good rest of your week, and we will see you on Sunday. Have a good night, everybody.
Everybody.